India's first PEVC Center of Excellence, Tony James Center for Private Equity and Venture Capital, unveiled at IIMB*. Through a generous endowment from Distinguished Alumni Mathew Cyriac, the initiative honors investment veteran Tony James. 7 August 2025, Bengaluru, * in a milestone development for the alternative investment landscape, the nation's most influential minds from the PEVC and financial services domains gathered to launch the Tony James Center for Private Equity and Venture Capital at IIMB, India's first center of excellence dedicated to the acceleration of research, innovation and collaboration in private equity and venture capital, PEVC. The center has been established through a visionary philanthropic initiative by PGP 1994 alumnus Mr Mathew Cyriac, Institute Gold Medallist and 2025 Distinguished Alumni Award, DA, recipient, Chairman Florintree Advisors, co-founder Yali Capital. And more formalizing the creation of the center was signed on 24 August 2024 between IIMB and Mr. Cyriac.
Please help us find more alumnus like you, right? Because when you graduated in 1994, the world was completely different, right? I don't know how many organizations or the media were there which were trying to rank the B schools and engineering colleges and so on. So today we are heavily scrutinized, not just by media in India, but also the world media, right? The problem with that is we are competing with schools like Harvard or Stanford and so on, which is tough for many reasons. But one basic reason is if you look at Harvard's endowment, it is about $50 billion. And Harvard Business School's endowment is $5 billion, right? And if you look at the best universities in UK, both Oxford and Cambridge, both are sitting on an endowment of $5 billion or close to that. So why I'm saying this number is that research is cost intensive, right? And without money, we can't first of all, we can't attract world-class researchers. And it requires a lot of investment in the form of data, attracting talent, and so on. So these kind of endowment or donations are quite useful to create that kind of research centers like this one, Tony James Center for Private Equity and Venture Capital. And that will put us in the world map of excellence in research, right? And that's why these kind of donations are important to schools like us. I'm actually trying to probably motivate other alumni in the room and also the current students in the room so that we get a lot of these donations, not just for the donation sake, but that's how we can actually create a great research institute and we can actually compete with the world-class schools like Harvard or Stanford or whichever name comes to us. And soon we'll be also having an undergraduate program. You would have already read about that in the media. We are starting 4-year undergrad program in data science and economics. And again, we are looking for support from both alumnus and others because it's kind of one of its kind where probably if you look at IIMs, there are IPM courses offered by several IIMs, mostly the newer IIM, but completely on-campus undergraduate program, probably IIMB is the only institute which is going to launch very, very soon. So we are looking forward to support from everybody so that we can also make it one of the best in the world. I would like to also thank all the eminent guests who have taken time to come here to grace this occasion and share their knowledge with us. And I also thank my officers and staff from Alumni and Development Team and Dean Faculty Office. They have been working hard to make this even happen. And thank you once again coming here. And
why don't we name after Tony James, Tony, right? And that's when I also realized that Tony is somebody who has played a critical role in my career, like George here. And George and Tony also have been together for several years. So Tony is somebody who has played a very, very critical role in my career. So it all kind of made sense, right? That's how the name and the sender kind of came together. When I called Tony, he obviously is an Indophile. He really likes India. He's been visiting India from like mid-90s, 97, 98. And he really liked India and what goes on here. And he said, yeah, of course, I will do it, but only on one condition. He said, you have to build something that is world-class, something that is, he jokingly said, kind of worth my name, don't screw it up, right? So that was his kind of, and his thing was, if you're doing it, let's do it well, let's make an impact, let's build something that of global stature and repute, which is a big burden on us, I think, on Professor Thambi and all of us involved with this. So that's kind of the leading light. How do we build something that is world class, something that is of real high repute and high impact? I'll spend a minute on how do I see the center. I know Professor Ashok spoke about it. At a very high level, we see 5 or 6 constituents, right? First of all, the students, the current students at IIMB, and private equity is a very attractive job destination for us. So that's one group of people that we are focusing on. Second is young professionals who is no more at IIMB or maybe graduated from somewhere else. How can we help them get private equity skill set and toolkit for them? So that's the second. Third is obviously private equity firms. Fourth is the companies that issue private, or rather take private equity capital. Fifth is the academic portion of the IIM, which is the PhD students and the professors who are doing research. So the academic research community at IIM. And the sixth is the LP community, which is whether it's local or global, LP community, because at the end of the day, this center will be successful eventually. When I take a 20-30 year view, how can it move the growth rate of private equity in India? And the fundamental driver for that is a capital flowing into private equity. Where does the capital come from? It comes from the LP or the investors into the private equity fund. India, if you look at it today, from the global allocation of private equity capital, India is a very, very small piece. It's not even, not even worth mentioning. Partly because there is a lot of information, uncertainty or lack of information, because all the firms would say great stories about India. If you have, let's say, firm A bringing 10 of their LPs into India, they will talk about all the great things they're doing. But then you hear about all kind of noises about this happened in India, that happened in India. And so people get a little bit, taken aback by all of this. So can we create a platform to really understand, not as a messenger for the industry, but as a bridge of information for the industry, for LPs? That's one of the things. So one of the things that we are thinking about is having a annual 4-day kind of a private equity yatra, which is not a canvassing, not a kind of a industry lobby, but really getting people, the LPs, particularly the global LPs, understand what goes on in private equity in India and what's the reality, right? So that's one, among the many things that we talked about, that's one of the important aspects of what we plan to do. Now I want to spend a few minutes on the professors, right? Obviously they are all doing.
And I hope that we will be able to do something wonderful in terms of both impactful research and do something also for the students in terms of increased engagement with the private equity and venture capital space. Just wanted to indicate a few things that we'll probably be doing. We are still in the early phase of deciding what exactly we would be doing. It's really wonderful that an initiative of this kind has been done, and would like to thank Mr. Mathew Cyriac, Distinguished Alumnus, for doing something of this magnitude. It is not just about giving a donation, but Mathew is very much invested in terms of making the Center of Excellence, the Tony James Center for Private Equity and Venture Capital, a very impactful center, a center of excellence in terms of contributing to the private equity and venture capital industry through development of talent, the engagement with the industry, and the quality of research that we could engage in, so that the industry gains in prominence, not just in terms of with investors and so on, but also in terms of